there, chatters. I'm Nat.
And I'm Kat, and welcome to the Crime Chat Update. We are back for case update number 4, and in season 5, we were visiting some of our previous cases, giving you some of the latest updates.
Yes, I have 2 updates today.
Yeah.
Okay. My first update is regarding episode 96, which was our episode on Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Do you
Uh-huh.
remember that one? She's been in the news.
She's been in the news.
Yeah.
So she's still, I don't know, you might get to it, but is she still kind of out there? Oh, let me fix your.
Yeah. So she has been in the news, and she's she hasn't changed much. I mean, if anything, she's a
does have a
little bit
kid
older.
now. Yeah. She's got her own kid now, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just to touch back on our episode, we went over the whole thing, the whole grueling story. And we touched on a bunch of stuff. So here's some update on her. Now on December 28th, 2023, Gypsy was released from prison after serving 8 years of her 10-year sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, almost instantly, she was back in the public eye.
Yeah.
Within hours, her social media exploded with followers. And cameras were everywhere. And after spending most of her life either being controlled by her mother or locked behind bars, she walked right into fame. And I don't think she handled it very well, but
yeah,
I think
you really expect her to with that kind of mentality, if you will.
Yeah. And she kind of leans into that little girl kind of demeanor. So now, right around her release, a new docuseries aired called The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I remember that. I watched that 4-hour episode.
Oh, jeez.
Which was very interesting because she went into her child abuse, her, the role her mother played in her life, the role she played in her mother's murder, and her feelings around it. The series went really deep into even Dee Dee's, her mother, her background, and like the alleged abuse from her father. And also the, her being a victim of Munchausen by proxy. Dee Dee's father denied it all, but I have to tell you, when I watched that docuseries, he gave me the ick. I'm just saying, he gave me.
You said Dee Dee's father or Gypsy's father?
Dee Dee's father.
Okay.
So Dee Dee's father was allegedly Gypsy said that Dee Dee was abused by her father. So her mother was also abused.
That's right. I remember now. Yep.
But come on now, did you see the series?
No.
He'll give you the ick. There's something up. There's something very odd. But I don't know. So now, in the show, Gypsy did say she regrets what happened. She wished that, she had chosen a different way. She also made it clear that she doesn't think that Nicholas Godejohn, who was the boyfriend who she convinced to murder her mom, should be released from prison, which is weird. And that comment sparked like a huge debate. So now in early 2024, Gypsy released her memoir, My Time to Stand. In the book, she explains the abuse in more detail. She admits formerly unhealthy emotional bonds between, her and her mother, and then also like the dependence on attention and validation. She also claims that she tried to escape her mother before she made those murderous plans. Now, while all this was happening publicly, her personal life was changing quite quickly. Gypsy had married Ryan Anderson in 2022 while she was still in prison. And after her release, they appeared together in interviews and seemed kind of happy. But by March 2024, just a few months after she got out, they announced that they were separated. The marriage didn't last long. And Gypsy, she moved on pretty quickly. So she figured out that she was still in love with her previous boyfriend, Ken Urker. So she reconnected with him. They ended up getting married in 2024, and she had a baby.
Yeah.
So in early 2025, she gave birth to a little girl. don't her name. Oh, I do know her name. I do know her name. So now she said that becoming a mother changed the public conversation again for her. Some people supported her and hoped that this would bring stability to her life, while others questioned if she had really truly healed and being a parent was just too big for her. Meanwhile, the debate about the murder, never really truly went away. Now, Nicholas Godejohn, who is still in prison, serving a life sentence without parole. Some supporters have pushed appeals, saying his autism and mental state were not fully considered. And as of now, his sentence still stands, but I see their point.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Some people believe that Gypsy received a lighter sentence. Others believe that her years of abuse explain why she got less time.
Sure.
Now, the public opinion about Gypsy has shifted back and forth. At first, many people celebrated her release. She was even seen as a survivor, but as she did more interviews and gained millions of followers, some critics said that she seemed to be enjoying the spotlight a little too much. Others argued sometimes she downplayed her role in planning the murders. Eventually, the attention became overwhelming. By mid-late 2024, Gypsy reduced her social media presence. She said the constant criticism and pressure were too much. She stated she wants a quieter and more normal life. Sorry. I don't know how you're going to get that. You murdered your mother. So I don't
then
know.
you threw yourself back out there. Like,
right?
You've invited people, maybe not initially, but after her release, and then even while she was in prison, because wasn't she on like life behind bars too? Yeah. So like you're inviting people into your life.
Yes. And that's the thing about her. I truly think that if Bravo came out to her and said, "Listen, we want you to be one of the housewives in whatever location she's in," she would jump on that chance.
Sure. Yeah.
So like I don't know. I don't think it's going to take her a long time to learn how to adult, But then again, I mean, she, based on like her background and everything that's happened to her, I don't know. So as of now, she is focused on motherhood, therapy, and building healthier relationships and support systems. And she seems stable and at peace. Whether that's possible after becoming one of the most famous true crime cases in recent history is another question.
Yeah.
Today, the story is no longer about Munchausen by proxy, even though it's called something else now. You mentioned that in that episode. You corrected that title. It was something else.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Alexa, what is Munchausen by proxy called today? Alexa, stop. Yeah, factitious disorder.
Her story is no longer about that. It's no longer about abuse. It's no longer about murder. Now, the bigger question is, can someone be both the victim and the murderer? Is that possible? I guess it is, yeah. Either way, we're never going to have any answers. She's kind of moving on. And,
Well, I mean, I kind of, as you pose that question, it kind of makes me think about domestic violence survivors who murder their abusers. I mean, they are a victim, but then also there's that defense, right? The right to self-defense. I mean, she essentially, it could have been stretched maybe a little bit more, but that was an act of self-defense as well. I mean, the plotting and everything was probably a little the premeditation behind it, but I don't know. That's interesting.
I think she got off a little light, a little easy if if her boyfriend's still in jail. I mean, if you remember the video of her kind of giving him the layout of their house and standing over the mother's bed and kind of like in her motion, like stabbing the mother's bed. Like I think, she was a villain. She was definitely a villain. So let's not get confused with her little girly, demeanor. All right. So my next update takes us way back to season 1.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah.
Way back. The way back.
the way, way back. This was episode 33, and this is when we covered Unit 731,
Oh,
the
snap.
atrocities of that
Yeah.
place.
Gosh.
So, recent months brought major new information about Unit 731, Japan's secret biological warfare unit from World War II. Most of this comes from newly released documents in Russia and China. These updates are: 1. Declassified Soviet and Russian files as of December 2025. In late 2025, Russia handed over a large set of declassified documents to China. These came from the 1949 war crimes trial and included: 1. Full confessions, for the first time, complete interrogation records of senior officials were released. 1. Admitted the unit could produce massive amounts of deadly bacteria and other kilos and hundreds of kilos per month. Now, if you remember, they were creating they basically could case up the bubonic plague and throw it on you. Like they had, remember, they would create these clay balls, like cannonballs, and they would use fleas and rats in order to kind of like get a strain of bubonic plague that they could use as a weapon. And they tested it on local Chinese villages and their water supply and their animals in order to really see the effects. So it was really scary stuff, very scary stuff. Also, number 2, weather tracking unit. A special team studied wind and weather so bacteria could spread better to their environments. And then the last one, which was horrible to go over in our episode, which was the human testing. Documents confirmed planes sprayed bacteria on living people tied to wooden posts during the tests. These tests were terrible. I think we went over one of them, which was called a vivisection.
Yes.
And that was when they were actually doing kind of an autopsy on somebody who was fully awake.
Alive. Yeah.
And they kept you awake. They wanted to see your, so like if you would pass out or something, they had like these drugs to wake you back up. So you were like fully, you know.
Ugh.
I know. But there's no more mystery. You know, all the conspiracy theorists were right. Don't you love that? We love that here at Crime Chat.
Yeah.
Number 2, major museum expansion. It's going to happen in January 2026. Now, China, after all this happened, they opened a huge museum. Part of it is dedicated to the Unit 731. They're expanding it in order to accommodate all the new information that's coming out.
Okay.
Now, they did receive over 5,000 new items, including medical tools, nearly 300 hours of video, and hundreds of newly found photos. I don't know what that museum is going to put in there, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. That
you know how sometimes, like in those museums, they have those like little theater rooms and they replay some of the same, like, 5-6 minute clip. Oh my God. Like, I can't even imagine that.
A museum putting that out. So I don't know, like how, I mean, it can't be G-rated. You kind of like have to dive into it, but I don't think they're going to release all of that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, even equivalent to like Holocaust museums, those are not G-rated either. They shouldn't be, because that's the realism behind it. So, yeah.
Maybe they will release it. Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. Now, also public donations. More than 22,000 pages of documents were donated by the public. So they're people. Now, mind you, after Unit 731, and at the end, we did sum it up because all these doctors and all these officials that were in control of Unit 731, they were released. They were not held as war criminals because the U.S. went in to see what was up. And remember, a lot of them had immunity for their testimony.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see a lot of them having documents that weren't submitted that they may have had in their personal stash, classified stuff that shouldn't have been on them. that is now family members are saying, hey, I got the stuff, now
Yeah,
that you're
I was
accepting
going
it.
through Grandpa's trunk and I found this.
Ooh,
It might be interesting.
I know. Um, and also a former member breaks the silence. So in 2024 and 2025, one of the last living former members returned to Harbin at the age of 94, and Harbin is where Unit 731 and the museum is located.
Mhm.
He publicly apologized and described what he saw as a teenage trainee. He spoke about preserved human organs and other horrors. His testimony has pushed renewed calls for honesty and accountability.
Mhm.
Now, the ongoing tensions between countries. This history still causes serious conflict of what they did to one another back then.
Sure.
Japan's position, the government has long claimed that there's no evidence, even through a 2002 court ruling admitting the experiments happened. Now Japan's like, oh, that happened. And also the
These are
U.S.
not the
controversy.
documents that you're looking for.
No, they're not going to admit to stuff but we know.
Yeah.
And also the U.S. controversy. New research in late 2025 revisited how U.S. officials protected Unit 731 leaders after the war in exchange for their data, allowing them to avoid punishment. So it happened, but nobody wants to say it happened. So basically, parts of history got buried. But yeah, so that's my 2 crazy updates.
That is crazy. Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them cuckoo bananas. I also have 2 updates. One is from a 2-parter episode that we did, and one is from a bonus episode.
Ooh.
So my first update really isn't an update, but has some pretty interesting facts to one of our 2-parters from season 2, episodes 38 and 39, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Ooh.
That was, those episodes were released in September and then in October of 2022. In this episode, we talked about a lot of things. The first part was about how Lee Harvey Oswald, LHO, I'm going to refer him to, as I did in the episode, how his rough upbringing and the events leading up to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Then in part 2, we talked about the conspiracy, communism, and other events leading up to JFK's assassination, including the shot the LHO took from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository in Dealey Plaza, Dallas, Texas, November 22nd, 1963. So today, the depository is dedicated to the life, death, and legacy of JFK it's called the 6th Floor Museum. The current collection holds 90,000 items, including manuscripts, documents, photographs, films, audio recordings, and newspaper and magazine articles. And here are some of the most interesting items in the museum. And really quick, I got this from the Book of Unusual Knowledge, by the way.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Wait, so not to derail you, but it's ironic that you're going over this because you've covered a lot of aspects around this crime, including Marilyn Monroe, JFK. Right. You've done it all. Now, we both agree that Marilyn's happy birthday dress was probably the sexiest I've ever seen a woman look. Like, hands down, it was perfect. Like, there was nothing out of place on her. There's a actress that I think wore a dress sexier than that dress. I've never seen a dress like this. Like, legit, probably the sexiest dress I've ever seen in my life. Kat, I'm going to send it to you.
Okay,
I'm sending it. I gotta take a picture of it. Now, it's like Marilyn. It's all body yaddy yaddy. It is completely. It's see-through. It's see-through.
Wait, is it the same one you talked about? You've mentioned previously.
Look at that dress. Okay.
Yes.
That's Sydney Sweeney. Her body is Marilyn-esque, right?
Yeah.
Is that dress not as sexy as that night from the happy birthday?
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
She's like
showing her nipples and everything.
I know. Chatters, check it out. Sydney Sweeney, silver dress. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, back at the 6th Floor Museum, here are some of the most interesting items that they have. 1, the Abraham Zapruder collection. It contains the world-famous 8mm film of Kennedy's motorcade just before, during, and after the shooting. The institution holds the copyright to 3 of the 4 known home movies that captured the fatal shot. The next one is the Orville Nix collection. It contains a film of the motorcade shot from Dealey Plaza, the opposite angle of the Zapruder film.
Okay.
The third one is the preserved Sniper's Perch. The corner window area of the 6th floor, where Oswald's rifle was discovered among stacked books and boxes, has been recreated based on crime scene photos and is preserved behind a plexiglass for viewing. So like you can go up there and see where he shot it from, and they put everything kind of back where it was based on pictures and like recreated it. But you can't go in it. You just can only see it. The next one is the Phil Willis collection. This represents the most extensive record of the day's events with 30 color slides, including a single photo of JFK as he was shot that has been studied by investigators and researchers for years. And you probably know what picture that is. Yeah. And then the 5th one, the last one, is other unique artifacts include Jackie Kennedy's handwritten letters to John Steinbeck, the blood-soaked shirt of Dr. Robert McClellan, worn while attempting to resuscitate the president, and then white X marks painted on the asphalt of Elm Street, which indicate where the bullet struck. They could be viewed from the museum windows.
Okay.
Like you can look down and see where the bullet struck on the road. Crazy. Now, beyond the exhibition, the museum acts as a dynamic space to educate future generations and foster dialogue, providing a somber, fact-based reflection of the event. And despite its macabre exhibits, the museum continues to be the 2nd most visited historical site in Texas, behind the Alamo, proving that the legacy of JFK and the public's fascination with the circumstances surrounding his death are eternal. And by the way, I did already mention that.
Yeah. I remember one thing that you said during that case with JFK about Jackie having to wear that dress the entire time covered in his blood.
Yeah, when Johnson was sworn in, she was in that pink outfit. It still was blood soaked. Yeah, when she was there on Air Force One when they did the swearing. Yeah. Well, the second case update is an interesting theory and link to a recently deceased celebrity.
Oh, okay.
In one of our season 4 Into the Unknown series, we covered Creepy Ass Dolls, episode 133, which came out in May of 2025. You covered the Fish Doll of Westport, Massachusetts, and I went over Robert the Doll, housed in Key West, Florida.
That's one scariest doll.
Get this. Okay. I saw this and I was like, what the? Well, there's speculation that the death of Ozzy Osbourne, who passed away at the age of 76 in July of 2025, may have influenced misfortunes by none other than Robert the Doll.
Are you kidding?
Some Robert fans and paranormal experts claim that anyone who disrespects the doll faces a streak of bad luck, has misdiagnoses, accidents. We talked about that in the episode, right?
Yeah, he's a petty bitch, Robert the Doll.
Yeah. What was it? Post Malone is one too? Yeah.
Post Malone went on Joe Rogan and was like, this is what happened to me and my plane crashed. Don't fuck with Robert the Doll.
Well, reportedly, Ozzy's youngest son, Jack, confronted Robert the Doll at the Fort East Martello Museum, mocked him, made farting sounds during filming of Ozzy and Jack's World Detour. In the months following, Ozzy suffered multiple health setbacks, including a Parkinson's diagnosis and a fall at home that worsened pre-existing spinal injuries, eventually requiring surgery to address his back and his neck. In 2020, Jack allegedly gave Ozzy a replica of the Robert the Doll, and apparently Ozzy's response was, quote, "Just look at what has gone on with me. You think this is a joke?" End quote. And later, Ozzy tried to destroy this replica doll with explosives, but one source said that had very little effect.
Oh, that's eerie. I would punish. Oh my God, Jack, why would you do that?
Right.
Why would you give that doll as a gift? Oh my God.
Well, okay, so I don't know if this has anything to do, but have you seen Kelly Osbourne in the news lately, and how she's being criticized for her weight?
Yeah, well, I don't, is there something wrong? Because she is very, like,
Well, she was on
gaunt.
Ozempic or GLP-1 or something.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. I hope she's okay.
Yeah. I just saw that recently. I don't know the whole detail, but I do know that she was being criticized. Maybe her experimentation with this went a little too far because of Jack's misfortunes.
Oh,
and
God.
mocking of Robert the Doll.
Jack.
Well, David Sloan, a Key West paranormal guide and author, says that Ozzy was the second recent individual whose death appears to be connected to Robert the Doll. He also said that the story has fueled debates on whether the doll's influence was real or coincidental, adding to its sinister reputation and fascination among the fans of the macabre and the paranormal. So what do you think about that?
That's crazy. I'm too afraid not to even, like, I'm not gonna, we're all good, Robert the Doll. Like, I'm not gonna insult it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was Jack thinking? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I understand, like, you don't believe in it, but don't disrespect, like, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to push that envelope.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, those are my 2 updates.
It's crazy. Oh my God, that was a good episode. But yeah, when you think about, like, all these what do they call that? When things are haunted. What was that movie? There was a movie.
Poltergeist.
No, when something is haunted, like The Conjuring.
Oh.
When, like, there's a doll haunted. I think, like,
there's an item haunted.
Annabelle,
of course.
crazy
yes.
stuff. All right,
well, Annabelle had her own little road trip in circumstances.
She escapes, didn't she?
Well, she quote unquote escaped, and then the museum said, "Stop the conspiracy. Annabelle is back. Like, she's home. She's in the museum right now. Here's a picture of her." And then shortly after that, he died. You didn't hear about that? He died?
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, is that the guy from Paranormal Hunters that died?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it. Yes, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
What's the lesson, people? Stop messing with the dolls. Like, come on now. All right. Well, thank you for that. Okay. Well, I think that wraps up updates number 4.
Yes.
Now, remember to follow us on all of our socials so you can get the scoop on what's coming up next.
Yeah, and our next season 5 episode is coming up next Saturday, March 14th. Natalie's story. And it's gonna be an interesting one.
I asked Kat to do a real fun intro. You don't want to miss it.
All right, we'll see you at the Crime Chat.
Bye.